Sterring, picture important. Is Sterring, they're like Sterring.
Hey, I'm Kunta.
And I'm Peta.
Welcome to Black Sterring Radio, a podcast where we dissect TV shows, films, music, and culture
To ask how black women are represented and seen on screen.
We're back.
Hello again, dames en heren.
What does that mean? I know I lived in Pretoria
and
all
yes, girl.
my life.
You need to know.
However-
Die praten en te praten. No.
Ek kan nie praat nie.
Yes.
Ek kan nie deel nie.
And I feel like we all learned how to say ek kan nie praat nie because
Yeah.
it's important to be able to say I don't speak this one.
I know. And
I
you
don't
know
speak
what?
this one.
I miss old Trevor Noah. Because I remember he made that as a joke, as
Yeah?
like, we all know how to say we can't speak the language. In the
Yeah.
language we
This
supposedly don't
is
know how to
true.
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
You know how to
no
say,
hablo
no
español.
hablo español.
Instead of learning the language.
Yeah. Like, you really
Instead of learning
instead
to
you
say
learn how to say, I
something.
can't do it. Like,
Instead of, I'm not committing.
like
you
please,
learn to
please,
say.
don't ask me anything. Don't ask me anything. But
Yeah.
people talk so fast. I remember.
I do.
Oh, also the culture shock. I remember being in South America a few years ago. They don't speak English
At the
at
all.
all.
And that's
You
so
just-
it's so alienating.
In
This is
Brazil,
like
it was
traveling, you know?
Portuguese,
Yeah.
and in Argentina, it was Espanol.
And if
And
you don't know,
you had a cat like you had.
if you don't know, then you
Yeah.
are scum of the earth.
And literally, the friend that I was traveling with would just be like, English, anybody. And I'd
That's
be
so
like,
Karen.
hola,
I just-
¿cómo estás? Like,
I
would
yeah.
at least learn how to say a little bit, like, hi, help us.
Yeah, you
please.
know, what's
bathroom.
yeah, they usually
Directions.
advise because you have a lot
Even
of
if
these
you know
whips.
a little bit,
Yeah.
then at least people, it almost like disarms people, and then they're more open to helping you.
because you've
But
tried.
if you don't even try,
Yeah.
then people are like,
you're like English,
whatever.
English. We all hate
Whatever.
English, guys. Please.
Yeah, but it was such a culture shock because I think we perhaps pay too much attention to learning and speaking English to accommodate everyone else.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
It's
And there's
interesting,
something
hey?
quite beautiful about
It
that.
is, it
They're
is.
like,
A lot
you
of-
are in our house.
A lot
not the
of
other way
European
around.
countries as well are not interested. A lot of countries outside,
Yeah.
you know, like
I love that for them.
and the fact that like English is not like the main or the top, like it's Mandarin, it's Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not the be all and end all. Hey, we were colonized badly, guys. We were colonialized.
And then
hey?
good old apartheid.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
Yeah.
get it. I you know, I it's something interesting that I saw on a WhatsApp status is this like emergence of like the black Karen. And I'm like, this
Tell
was
me
obviously,
more.
can I just tell you this status update was from a black man. So I was like, you know, they never have our backs.
Okay, I
you guys
shouldn't
never
rolled my
have
eyes
our
like
backs.
that, but you know why I
You
rolled my
guys,
eyes like
niggas,
that.
never have our backs. But I was like, this is interesting though, because I think it's true. I definitely feel like, you know, black women, we have voices now, and we are very, you know, like, yeah, we've got a Karen energy to us, and I mean, hey, why not?
Is it a Karen energy?
Yes.
Or is it finally
Yeah.
pushing to be heard?
Yes, absolutely that.
You know, where people didn't care to listen or didn't have to listen,
Yeah.
and now they do. So there'll always be a
Yeah.
cry. And I mean, I always think of that quote where someone said, if you're in the privileged position, equality will always feel like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like this great disservice.
It's like an
to you.
inconvenience. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's actually very true, you know, because like I think I read a quote where it said that people don't expect black women to emote, to say anything. They don't expect to hear from black women, and so when black women speak, it kind of riles people up. It irritates people, you know. But yeah, you know, long live the black Karen. Hey, baby girl, 2025.
You Karen as far as you want to, okay?
You Karen, baby. You Karen,
Yeah.
you Karen. But yeah, We're back and
We're back.
Talking shit.
As per usual.
As per usual.
Content of
Do
the
you
week.
have content?
I do.
Get it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I have been watching Law, Love, and Betrayal
Ooh.
on Showmax.
Ooh.
It is South African legal drama
I saw
that
that.
I have been gobbling up. It's really good.
Interesting.
I don't think we've had a legal drama since
legal
Supreme
drama
Partners,
hits,
which was
guys.
like ages ago. And I loved Suits, and I love a legal drama.
You also
So
had, hey?
it's really good, and it is about
There was the practice. You remember the practice, guys? Legal drama is a hit.
at like the Kumere law firm.
Yes,
setting.
you know.
And you have Gugu Mabaso, who's like they're from Tembisa, and she's a human rights justice lawyer.
I love
and she
that.
has to go work
I
in
love this
Santon with like
ET
all of the
voice.
action nights. Like she has to work
They
with
hire my theater, guys. You need her. You know
available for
what's
voiceover work. Hey, everywhere. No, I'm joking. Yeah, and she has to like go. She decides to go work at this Gumede and Partners law firm in
Gumede.
Santon.
Yeah.
And there's all this friction. It's like rich versus poor.
Yeah, the
Tembisa
setup,
versus
the
Santon.
setup.
Like this premise of it. But yeah, obviously you have like the asshole male lawyer who wants to get in her pants. And like they take on all these different cases.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting because the cases that they take on, they're very good at like almost like naming the laws and the legalities
Nice,
around
so you get
things,
to
which
learn,
is nice.
which is
So
the-
it's like if you are in that situation, you actually can learn from
I
the show.
love
and be like,
that.
oh, I
Definitely
can use
need
this
to watch
case, this
this.
precedent in
Yeah.
court. Yeah, there's like maybe 8 episodes
Okay,
out,
nice,
but
nice.
it's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying it.
Yeah.
It feels like they did a really nice South
Do you know
African
who's
show.
on production for that? Do you know?
I must check.
Yeah,
I
that's
even check.
interesting.
I just, you know, and you're like, oh, let me just watch the first episode.
Yeah,
Then I was
absolutely,
like,
and then
this
it
is
draws you
actually really
in.
nice. Yeah, and I was drawn in.
Yeah. And I really like legal
yeah.
and medical dramas.
There's
There's always
something
this
about
thing
them.
around. There's just a thing about them. There's always this thing around fact fiction. Where are we?
Yes,
Where are we
even the
blurring the
detective
lines? Yes,
dramas
you know,
in that
because ding ding,
formulaic.
law and order, guys. Where it all started and ended.
Thinking. Yeah,
Guys,
like-
especially special crimes. There was the traumatizing, gory
the
Law
Law and
Yo,
Orders.
special victims.
SVU,
Yo,
yes.
SVU was
SVU.
Unbelievable.
And
it
then
was
there's, like,
not
the
allowed. It's not
CSIs.
allowed anymore.
Yes, and then
Hey.
you could decide if you want to CSI Miami or CSI.
Yes, we got a
Newark, or,
CSI
like,
Miami.
You had options. You're like, what city do I want to solve crime
No,
in?
I absolutely
With
love
Horatio
these
and the glasses.
dramas. And it's also
Yeah,
like
what a
a
time.
workplace,
Yes, it
workplace
is a
mix as
workplace.
well.
Oh, and this is a great segue. But before we get into that, what's your content?
Yes,
with it?
actually, my content is my fave, guys. Sade. I just
Oh,
want to Sade.
yes.
I just want to, there's lyrics, there's lyrics that we just like,
Oh
that we
my
just stick
gosh.
to. And I want you to tell me where this lyric
No,
comes from.
okay,
You know. It's
No,
not that deep.
okay.
I am in the wilderness. You are in the music,
Oh,
in the
and
man's
car next to me. Clink,
I
clink,
love
clink.
that line.
You are the lover's rock.
the lover's rock.
Oh my God.
The rock that I cling to. I love that
What?
line.
That is a perfect
It's
song.
you are in the music, in
that
the man's
that
car.
Lover's Rock album
Next
is
door to
probably my
me.
favorite Sade album.
Yeah, Sade.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Her
absolutely.
and the band and like
Yes, and the band, the fact that
the fact that it's a band. And
It's
I
a band, yeah.
Sade and Jamiroquai, I'm always like, wait, that's,
always, yeah, hey.
so
And
it's a band?
interesting.
It's a band.
It's interesting to name the band
after
after the
main
main singer.
Sade Aku.
Yeah. I mean, but the bands are
What
usually
a
because
beautiful
Jamiroquai,
voice.
bruh.
Yo.
Jamiroquai, Jamiroquai,
So great.
so great. Jamiroquai, guys.
yeah.
If please come to South Africa, please.
That would be really fun.
Please.
I think he actually might have been here.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
But
with
yeah,
his hats.
that with his big
Yeah.
ass, nobody got into trouble for that though, because cultural. That is not a Native
Oh yeah,
American
with
man.
the because when he came out,
So
with
now he just wears
that-
big hats.
Yeah,
Because people were like, "Yay,
what's up with that?
why are you wearing all these Native American hats?"
Yeah.
Like a
And
chief.
it's interesting, I see. Actually, my other content is Erica Badu winning the style award.
Oh,
Hectic
the
style award.
CFDA.
Yes. Because it's also this like thing in fashion. This I guess debate in fashion of appropriation and using is it fashion, is it styling, or whatever it is, just like using garb from cultural items with a cultural history, and whether or not you can. And she's used.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't say she's gotten away with it, because I mean, she's worn everything from like, ancient Kemetic, like African, she anks and like to native stuff as well, So I mean, I wonder but a white man doing it is like,
yeah. Because I was
stop
like,
right there,
oh.
please.
And I don't think I realized. I
Stop
always
it.
thought he was spicy white, TBH.
Yeah, what? I don't know.
The same way I thought George Michael was spicy white, TBH.
Oh, because George Michael.
George.
What's going on there?
In my mind, that was a
That
brown
tan?
man. That tan.
Because I just was like,
tanning.
this is a tan.
No, but I was like,
definitely. But
like,
tanning.
From Careless Whisper all the way up to him dancing with Whitney or Mary J. Blige.
Because
I
he's one of
miss
us. I'm
George
sorry.
Michael.
I
miss
miss
George
him.
Michael. Come on, man.
I miss him. George Michael was one of us, guys. George Michael.
adore George
completely.
Honestly,
But I do believe it was a
what a
hectic tan,
great-
because tanning.
No, bro.
White people,
but not like
let
that.
us know what tanning
No,
is.
not
is
like
in.
that though.
Like they get to be.
I
They
don't
get.
know.
What can he be? Like he can be
know.
like.
I don't know. And I feel like I've
Mix-
Googled this before, but I've
Yeah, George Michael is white. I think he's just got a really, really profound tan. Sometimes
I don't believe
because
it.
he'd be really light skin, and then he'd be really kind of
Brown, yeah.
brownish. So
Anyway.
anywho,
I love
workplace.
That song.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, in speaking of workplace dramas, today we'll be covering the latest show by Natasha Rothwell.
School
who
time, guys.
a lot of us know as Kelly from Insecure.
She did a
Who
thing.
has just written How to Die Alone. Which follows Mal, who is fat, black, 35, not happy with her life, working at JFK Airport.
At JFK Airport.
And she almost dies on her birthday.
Yeah.
A whole cupboard thing
falls on her
top
head,
of her.
and that's kind of like where it
Sets off
kind
the
of
chain
goes
of
down and up.
crazy
Events.
Yeah.
And it's
What did you think
interesting.
of the show?
I liked it. I really did. There was a lot going on. It felt like a variety show at some point. Like
I hated when it started to feel like a variety show because why was there a musical number?
Absolutely. I was like, there were a couple of them.
Yeah,
There were a
and
couple
I
of
was always
musical
like,
numbers.
especially the one that was outside of the karaoke. Because the karaoke one, I was like, okay, this is getting Fantasyland and a bit wonky.
Yeah, there was that.
But then the one in the final episode where they were doing Nina Simone.
Yes.
I was like,
there was a lot of that.
On?
And it was just this like thing that series do these days, like where they the intertextual reference, where they steal or where they kind of adopt the culture of the internet or whatever. I mean, it was interesting. It was fun in that sense. But I think the show is like it's authentic. It's like it's really honest. It's as honest as she can be, and the comedy of it then, of course.
Yes.
Mixing it.
Yes. And it's interesting because she said that she made it to kind of resolve the younger version of herself, who was living in Brooklyn a few years ago, and like just how unhappy she was and where she was, and
the
how
girl
everything
is
was
down
very
bad.
messy. Mel is down pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. She has a friendship with Rory, who I was like, hey, how to get away with
yes,
murder.
absolutely.
Yes, I was like, I know you.
Wonderful. It was lovely seeing him in there.
Really
and he
nice
was just
seeing him in something else.
He was the gay bestie.
He was the gay bestie.
And
Was
I love
he
that-
a good friend?
I love how they sit. I love how she is honest about things like that. Like, like that friendship that seemed, and just how lonely she kind of is, just moving around as an adult and trying to have honest, real friendships, just as an adult,
as a grown person,
just as
yeah. And also the fact that a lot of it is centered around obviously the airport because they work there, but also her nervousness to take flight and get on a plane.
Yes, and that is kind of like circumscribed by the wedding that she has to, the ex's wedding that
because
she has
Alex
to go
is
to.
getting married, which
So she
will.
she was in a relationship with her boss.
Yes,
Or the manager,
yes.
her line manager.
When she first worked there.
Yes.
They dated for a few months.
For a few moments.
Yeah, like three, 4-ish months.
Yeah.
And then they were at dinner at their favorite Thai place.
Yeah.
Where she used to work.
Yeah.
Everything was very cute.
The Thai place, hey? Yeah.
Everything was so cute.
Yeah.
And then he said, I love you.
And then out came attachment issues. And she fumbled that completely.
Hard.
Yeah.
That was rough.
That was rough. Because, you know, she was
like, you were just around.
Yeah.
And I wanted someone to touch me. I was like, oh my goodness.
Girl.
Ouch.
Have some manners. And it's like,
have some manners for real.
And it's interesting
Rude.
because like their relationship seemed like, you know, it seemed the natural progression, you know. And there's this like I guess this debate around, you know, how hardcore, you know, women are in the dating game these days, where there's like this like, oh, if a man says I love you, it's too soon or whatever. And she kind of, yeah, man, that was just like so hardcore. That was so hardcore. You know, I felt sorry for him.
Yeah. I did feel bad for him.
Yeah,
the way she responded was all the way to the left, which I mean was clearly like self-sabotage.
Yeah, self-sabotage is definitely the thing.
Because then she went throughout the whole show, self-sabotage.
Yeah,
the
she's
theme,
just
she goes to Rory and she's crying about how like he didn't really meet her or like get to know the real her, and like she felt like she was performing the whole time, and like,
but it's like, you know, and then she's like back in love with him after like after doing that, you know, and he moves on, you know, because, you know,
and but can we talk about that? Because did Alex really move on? Because I found the relationship quite interesting. In him being engaged, they were still texting, there was still the late night call, there was still there was like a level of familiarity that they still
the door
had.
was still open in a sense,
and I think he left the door open perhaps a bit too much for someone who is engaged to be married to somebody else.
Absolutely.
And you did wonder if he was over it, and you have like the penultimate episode where he misses the flight to go to his wedding.
Why does
and it's
he do
like
that?
You were at the airport the entire day, but you missed your flight. And then you spend the night with your ex-girlfriend,
and then it's shocking who you loved, now that she says she's
and
in
now
love with you.
You're like oh
it's
my god,
all
no.
over.
But also that moment where she fumbled again, where he was like, you want me to blow my life, but you
absolutely.
can't.
That's what I mean.
You still can't say it,
and you
like,
still can't say you love me.
You want me to cancel this wedding,
mess.
and you can't
She's
say
a mess.
it.
I'm just like,
and
girl.
she choked bad.
Yeah,
it was not
she's
good.
like, I can't. And I mean, I get that.
So bad. You're like,
I get that. It's hard. I mean, I love how she
hard.
sits in the struggles of dating, because guys, dating is rough. Like, and it's rough definitely because of you, you know, like because you're the issue, you know. And she's just like, and I agree with you. Like he gave, I don't know if it was mixed signals, because there was the whole thing where her colleagues, friends at the airport kind of planned this whole like flight rehearsal thing for her.
Oh, Terrence.
Yes, Terrence is her guy, but she doesn't see the guy.
Terrence, so Terrence for me is really interesting because like he was clearly always checking for her, or like they were always like really good friends.
Yes,
they would have smoke breaks together. And there's the episode where he's dating somebody else at the airport, and he doesn't let her eat the chips.
Yeah,
but but he lets Mal eat the chips. So you're like, oh, are they trying to foreshadowing? Okay.
Yeah, that
we see what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
But I think post that, it felt very rushed. Like he made this huge grand gesture.
True.
With the like with the plane simulation, it all felt very big and not. I don't know. Like that felt. I liked the premise of it, but the way that it kind of happened felt a little bit rushed with Terrence for me. But I did like the grand gesture.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, it was nice. I mean, I think it felt like something that like a friend could do, but also very much like trying to shoot his shot.
Yes.
But at the
then
same
he
time,
didn't
that
make it known
yes,
that he was like on the court.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
So
He
it's
was
like
he
you
almost
can't
like
shoot your
he
shot
was
if
always like
you're
laying the ground, like
on the
trying
bench.
to
Yes, but then he did it. Like he didn't do it in the small way. He
and
like
in
went to
all
the
of
big way
those,
first.
he
I was
also
like,
goes to her graduation because she takes the management course that
yes.
she can't make.
Oh, the
it
high
to.
flyers, which also I really didn't like that Rory said she shouldn't take that management program. That's when I was like, he's
Rory
not a
is
good
not.
friend.
He
Why
also
don't you
did
want me to
not
level
answer the
up?
phone when she was dying and calling. And I get it,
And
guys.
he dished her for dick
Yeah,
on her
he
birthday.
did. He did it again, and he
on
lied.
Her birthday,
He lied.
And he lied.
He lied. Sometimes gay besties, guys, I'm looking at you. Because, hey?
Yeah, I don't know.
And
For
then
like
he's now
Bi-Coastal
dating
Bay.
this guy for
Ben. Bi-Coastal Bay.
And now he's dating, and the thing with her going into hospital. Please, let's talk about her going into hospital and meeting Elise, who dies.
Yeah,
but
who dies.
But then
and gives her great advice.
Yeah,
you know, like,
kind of uplifts
live
her.
life. Yeah, like really.
Yeah.
Do things that scare you. Just like take risks, man. And
take risks, which is like the theme. Like she needs to kind of
push
herself, because how she gets into this job as well. Yes, how she meets Rory is at her previous job as a waiter, where she's being abused by
terrible manager.
Terrible. Like it's also like such a thing in the service industry. You just wonder.
Yeah,
you just wonder. So she's not treated great in that job, and so she moves then.
Into
so she's like
airport.
aimless. She's not really.
Yeah.
She's just going day to day. Well, hey, like, and then she gets into that job, and she's like, she's also still like dawdling. Like there's just
and Rory as a bestie is also a nepo baby. His dad owns the airport.
Yes.
So he doesn't really have to care about things like money.
Yeah.
Bills. He can just kind of live life.
And he's the friend that'll be like who'll like dangle the carrot and be like, hey, let's go to this, and I'll take you out for lunch, and I'll pay for this, and it never really materializes.
And also so their dynamic, where the one friend has it more together, quote unquote, and the other one doesn't.
True,
reminded me of Molly and Issa a little bit in the like. Wow. The dynamic of one friend being the mess and the other friend constantly having to clean up the mess, and the dynamic that creates in the friend cleaning the mess.
This is true.
Being the savior, thinking that they're almost like better, and maybe in some ways they are.
Definitely.
But the way that it came out when they had that huge argument, I was just like,
how he then was like, but I'm tired of taking care of you, like you're always, like he said
he said a lot.
I was like, oh my gosh,
like,
friends, hey?
Friends,
hey? I'm like,
he was like, I can't be everything for you, and I was like,
oof. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And that's interesting, like that dynamic that like there's always and in the dynamic like that, both people are getting, I guess, their needs met or whatever, because you're helping your friend, but you're also feeling
you can be self-righteous.
because people need to be needed. They need to be the savior. They need to be like the guy coming in to be like cleaning up the mess. And their friendship was problematic.
Yeah, because even when she started, I guess, taking a stand, like when he was like, oh, I'm going to call you a car, you're going to come to my place and rehearse what I should say to Bi-Coastal Bay's parents or whatever.
Yeah, because it's now about him.
And she was like, I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a wonky friendship.
It was.
For sure.
Yeah, and I love how they then they play that off with her new friendships after
with
the
Tamika
whole
and Abby,
who are like her sisterhood. She gets to have like friends who really care for her. I love that scene where they're trying to where she's like she's gonna go to the wedding and tell Alex that she loves him, and like she's gonna essentially ruin the wedding, and how they're like, well, no. I like. Let's
see how it plays out.
Let's see how it plays out, and giving her ideas as to like, hey, try this out. Let's not ruin a whole wedding. Let's just not.
Which was like fair.
Do that,
because what you think is gonna happen when you storm in there. might not be what happens when you storm in there.
I love how they then play it out. They play out
Yeah.
the
different
different
scenarios.
scenarios of how, and they do that thing that what's that, the drunken history.
Yes,
The drunk history.
It does feel like drunk history.
Where the
like,
narrators,
Yeah.
the dialogue in the little scenario, the little
it's like,
yeah.
okay, so like imagine you get there, you burst through the door.
I'm the
and
one
then
you
the
need
mom
to
is
marry.
like, damn. And then you're like, I'm the one you need to. Yeah, it's true.
So
It
that was
very
nice.
drunk history.
Those were nice moments. I think she does the comedy thing. She tries to do the comedy thing, but also have like, like say something with it. And I think she says a lot, hey, especially about
does.
like I'm not gonna say the plight, but it does feel like a plight, like of like, young or 35-ish-year-old Black women, fat. And just how invisible she is, she is,
feels,
she feels as well, like, though she has like, people are, please, let's talk about her brother.
We have to talk about her brother. Okay, so
Woo!
her catfishing her brother was actually insane. And she did a lot of things that were insane, including
She did
stealing his social security,
Number,
including taking
shame.
breaking into dead Elise's house
and
using
taking
her credit card to buy a flight.
Yeah, she did
to Hawaii.
she did.
I was like, Ifrod
Yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah, she really did, hey. But then Elise is dead.
But it's
is
also
that
like,
wrong,
does
bruh?
that? Yeah.
It is wrong, hey.
You took a dead person's credit card and bought
Yeah.
flight tickets and broke into their
Yeah.
apartment and took their dog.
I mean, she's taking care of the dog.
Sure, she's taking care of Baba, but I was still like, girl, this is still a crime.
Yeah, it's a
somewhere.
lot.
And then she also keeps
a crime
telling
the
on
whole.
herself.
Yeah, she does. She tells everyone.
She tells too many people. She tells
she does.
too many
She
people.
does.
I'm
She
like,
does.
for somebody who literally
And
committed
how she
crime,
just
stop telling
she just
people.
like mentions it as a, but I guess that's how it is. If you're not a criminal, you're just like, I just did this because this kind of it just falls on her lap.
Because
also,
people
what do
kept
you
being
do?
like,
Because she's also in debt. She's also like in debt. She's like in debt.
yeah, she's in like 30K
Because she also has to
of
pay the
credit card,
hospital bills,
hospital debt. Yeah, and her brother.
Because debt is also a
she
real
uses her brother to
thing.
co-sign
Yes.
the hospital debt for 30K.
Yeah.
And then she catfishes him because she finds out he's been cheating
Cheating.
on his white wife, Sarah.
White wife, Sarah.
And their family with 2 kids.
Yeah.
And she decides this is her revenge plot.
It really went well. I think she did it well. I think the
That
catfishing,
Thanksgiving, I was
the
like,
cat gift, yeah, ish. Like, and then you see where her foibles, her insecurities come from, because her mom ain't shit. Mom ain't shit. Like, obviously, and I love how she says to her brother, because her mother, obviously the son is the favorite. The son is the favorite, and he's got like this idea of himself as the responsible one, as the one carrying. But she says, that you know, mom didn't put you on a pedestal. She just put me low enough so you all could look down on me, which they did.
Yeah, that was rough.
Which they did, you know, because she gets there and she's psyching in the Uber. She's like psyching herself up. She's got her new hair, which is,
she got the
thank you,
press.
you know,
She said, come on,
you know,
press.
she's like,
Come on,
hey,
girl."
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look better, and I'm trying for myself. And the mom just kind of just like, you know, it's these microaggressions, guys, at home where, what does she say? She's like, she tells her mom about the management, the high flyers thing, that she's now doing her career thing. And what does the mom say? Like,
I can't even remember.
like, she says,
so
is it,
dismissive.
you know, it's so dismissive. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, talk about, this is where it comes from. This is where.
And then they have, and
the
then
Thanksgiving
obviously
is
like the Bumble catfish scam blows up.
Yeah.
The brother leaves Thanksgiving that's hosted
because she's the catfish,
to go and meet with this Bumble Tinder match, whatever.
Yeah,
and
what,
then
Tina?
finds out,
Tina is the name of the...
then finds out it's his sister.
Yeah, and then they get into it.
Woo. But they needed to have that conversation.
They absolutely did. They absolutely did.
It was a tough, honest conversation.
Yeah, and it's that interesting sibling rivalry, I guess, relationship where, you know, like, this is your family, but as keepy, hey, like we hate one another.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the end,
You can
they
tell
kind
the
of
resentment.
the resentment.
But then at the end, when she's like sending a voicemail, and his phone is on loudspeaker in the car, and she blabs.
I love that.
And the wife
I
is in
love
the car.
that.
I was
And
like,
that's towards the end.
oh no, yeah.
I'm like,
but now,
yes.
But
You're
now,
in.
and I mean, we're so glad that she did not go to the wedding.
We're so glad that she took like the roundabout flight.
Because stand up.
Bugantumbo.
You could not say I love you to this
Please.
man the day before. You cannot go there and try to break up this wedding.
Yeah, and you cannot.
I think the wife
had
the fiance, whatever, had her suspicions that
she
that
did.
episode
She
where she came to the airport and
where
she
she's
was
asking questions,
trying to suss like
you know,
what's happening,
and how she revealed everything to the friend. And she didn't realize that was the wife's friend.
She keeps telling on herself.
She does. She's got that like she talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting that episode where Alex decides misses the flight, and now they have this whole like date episode. It reminds me of her episode on Insecure with Lawrence
favorites.
and Issa. She's good
Natasha
at that
Rothwell wrote one of the best episodes of Insecure called Low-Key Happy. It was perfect.
She's good at that.
Lawrence and Issa reconnecting.
Yeah.
She is good at that.
She's good at that like romantic, whimsical kind of like. She's good at that. She's got a thing.
Yeah.
And I think she's like developing like her own kind of voice, her own like thing. That episode was great. Like that episode was great. That episode. Yeah, where they end up at the pond or the river.
Yes, and you see their chemistry, and you kind of
you
see
do
why they felt for each other to begin with, and like the banter and the whatever. Yeah. Again, we have whimsical karaoke to Silk Sonic and leaving the door open. I was like,
and can we have a chat about? I mean, Silk Sonic is
oh,
great.
I love Silk Sonic.
Yeah, Silk Sonic is great, but Bruno Mars is a definite genre. Hey, he's a genre unto himself. Like I definitely feel like his music lends itself to like, you know, the holidays, like musicals, like because it just worked and and he sings really well, and he's like really into it. He's invested. He's a good performer
and a great songwriter.
I would like he's got it all.
want to see Silk Sonic live.
Yeah, no, he did a thing with what's his name with Anderson Paak, yeah, which is Anderson Paak is also
great musician. We love him.
But yeah, you know, they have this whole like she what is she? Is she like singing?
Yeah, because they singing karaoke.
Yeah,
but I was like, okay.
Yeah,
it gets very. Some of the choices like slow-mo, the audience is frozen.
Yeah,
some of those choices I was
and
like,
she's like looking behind. Yeah, it's interesting.
She in places.
True, it is corny. I think that's the word.
Yeah, and I was like, I know that this is probably the point, because it actually reminded me, funny enough, of the movie Glitter.
Oh yeah.
And Glitter, and I know everyone roasted Glitter. It came out on 9/11, which was obviously a terrible day to release a movie because Twin Towers crashed. Terrible. But I love that movie. It will always be my favorite good bad movie. I love the soundtrack. I love Mariah Carey. But there were a lot of choices like that they made where it's like, you guys are in motion, everyone else is in slow-mo.
It's the sequence. What the hell's going on right now? Yeah,
like there were weird choices in How to Die Alone. And I think the meta-ness of it and meshing the fantastical to like, or like what's happening in her head, like the fantasy of what was playing out in her head. It worked really well in some places. I guess the idea, and then in other places, I was like, no, I don't know if it works as much. Yeah.
And we don't have to overdo it. We're doing it a little too much now. We're doing a lot.
Because it was like, are we here? Are we yes. Or it would be like, oh, something's happening, but it didn't actually happen because you thought about it in your head. So I was like, okay. Yeah, but it had its stuff.
It definitely did. I mean, I also enjoy the openers where they talk to people.
Vox Pops.
Yes, the Vox Pops.
Yes, I really
where they
like
talk
those.
to people
really
about the theme questions. Of the episode, and people are actually, you know, it's like honest conversations. I like that, you know, because I think it is very much like based on like real life situations, which is what's great about it. It's like, you know, the Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving Vox Pox where the girl is also just like, it's always drama at home. Like, there's always the question about like, will it ever change? Will it ever change? Yeah. I also want to like the before we rate it now, the brother being married first, right, to this white woman, and then cheating with only black women. What is the thing? I actually really want to ask now, man? Right? What is the thing with black men dating white women? Number one. This video I saw this man, it's influencer from the UK, a black man, just explaining why black men from the UK go for white women, and he's like, it is a, what do you call it, a dating app, like what was it, the
hypergamy,
it's hypergamy with them.
So
in
men
the
are now
UK
taking hypergamy.
Now men are taking okay, they are okay. And I'm just, and this, it's not hypergamy in this instance because,
fair.
But it's like, why?
I'll never, and I mean,
then,
so part
if
of
you're
it
going to
feels very Bronze Fanon, like, we want to be.
Absolutely.
And I remember that whole, yes, we want to be closer, we want to take the women, but also just like we want
this closeness, this proximity to whiteness, it's always been a thing for
which,
black men,
I mean, fine, that's fine, do what you must, but to then cheat with black women is interesting. That I've always been like, what's this about?
What's that about?
I don't get it.
You know?
This is very interesting.
And the selective judging, it's so interesting because he is like
Mr.
Judge Judy.
I said, you are the last person to be Judge Judy. Yes, she has committed crime, but
also, please can we understand how she's committed crime, right? Like, she's committed crime because she needed to. She was in hospital and and who's going to take care of her bills? She's literally alone and she can't trust her family. She can't. Yeah. She's got nobody. She really doesn't. And I like how they sit on that, like just loneliness. The loneliness of adulthood and having to pay bills alone and suffer through this one man. And people don't talk about how, like, sometimes you really are, even if you have a big fat family, they're not coming through for you. They're not. You're alone. Or you can't ask for help. Like, it's this weird dynamic. But like, she is alone and she has to make dumb choices to survive. Yeah.
So then let's talk about the end really quickly before we rate it. Yes. She goes to Chicago. She ends up in Chicago, which is great. Or in many, many stops, she gets on a plane.
I love that she has does the plane flying thing. Yeah.
Solo trip. She's in and around Chicago, and she meets Elise's ex-lover. She tells on herself again.
She really does. That's what I remember.
And even he's like, should I call the police? Because she was like, that is a crime.
Then he says, like, I just think you're lost.
Yeah, he does. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll keep your secret, but I want to keep the picture. And he keeps the picture. And she's been texting Terrence the whole time.
Oh, yes.
And she finally lands back at JFK in New York. And they are walking towards each other and body slams.
I love those like caricature dramatic moments.
It was so dramatic. But then obviously like she gets pulled away, she gets arrested, and everyone's like, what's going on? And then I ask myself, who told? Is it the brother? Because she blabbed his secret. Is it the old man?
Is it the old man? Is it the friend? Is it the friend? Because it feels like
who told?
Gay bestie, bro.
So now that's the next question. Who told? Who told on her?
Who told on her?
And I mean, she told on herself a lot, which didn't help. She did. But now, and also I think what didn't help was that her downgrading the flight and then them switching to many flights.
Yeah, and the charges, the activity happening on a dead person's credit card.
Do you know what I mean? I think she didn't help her case changing the flight. She didn't think it through.
She didn't think a lot through. There was not a lot of thinking.
They're gonna charge this change. Like you're not thinking about it.
You're not.
And too much activity on someone who is declared dead.
I think that might have been it as well. Maybe it would be interesting to find out maybe who told.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if her brother... Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be that vindictive. I wonder.
Right?
I don't know, but I
Because
don't
he's
know.
yuck.
But I don't know.
He is yuck. He is yuck to her.
He
He
can
is
be
yuck to her
yucky.
and to his wife.
And he might be petty because now the wife knows that he's had these affairs.
Yes.
So
yes. And
maybe.
now because it's her fault. It's her fault that she knows, that the wife knows.
Her.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But the gay bestie is jealous of her. I just feel like there's
he
something
definitely
weird
is
about
jealous.
the he's just got a.
And I think he's jealous also that the dad likes her more than and doesn't take him
Oh
seriously.
yeah,
because that did come up, and how the dad was like, "You're very aimless. Like, what are you doing?" Yeah. Okay, but let's rate it.
Let's rate it.
Okay.
Let's rate it. Relationships.
So, relationships.
Is there at least one strong relationship between
women?
Well,
I would say yes. When she meets Tamika and
absolutely yes.
And her neighbor and the
bartender friend.
Okay, but Elise died in the first episode, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah, that's not.
But yeah, I think
but that's
we
sisterhood.
got to see her
we got
friendships later on, which was nice.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Do we pander to stereotypes?
I mean, she is unpacking the fat girl stereotype, the life and times of a fat girl. So I think unpacking that stereotype and playing around with it, I guess, I wouldn't say, because I just love how, because I think from Insecure, there was conversation around like her character and how her character was treated as the bigger character, the fat girl. And I think she answers a lot of it. She's taking this territory and, she's having a conversation about it and putting herself at the center of it. So I think it's cool to have a conversation around the stereotype. So in a good way, she's subverting it. Yeah.
I agree. Well, I mean, I can't say it any better than that. So I'll let you take that.
Bodies, which is great.
Yes. The visual guide was really cool in this. I really like how you got to see just the range of people that walk through an airport. And that work at an airport.
And working at an airport.
It was interesting to be in that world.
Yeah, the different departments.
Even that terrible dude, Carlos, who worked with the confiscated meats, who ended up being in High Flyers with her.
Yes.
The guy she slept with who ended up being married.
Yes, I couldn't believe that.
He was so
because he was so nice to start off, hey?
He was so yucky. At the end. But
seeing
seeing even the villain Patty.
Yeah. Patty did her thing. Patty felt like Angela from The Office. Every office has an Angela.
Every
office has like
annoying,
a
irritating person.
Yes,
who absolutely. Just won't shut up.
Yeah. Who's just got it in. Yeah. A petty person.
Who likes to suck up to the
work people. Yeah, so
Patty was
definitely
insufferable. Yeah,
definitely like work.
But I did like how she called her out though.
Yeah.
Where she was like.
She wasn't taking Patty's nonsense.
No, I like how Patty called her out and was like, "Oh, you actually mustn't do this to Alex, hey, because you had your chance."
Why was she so?
I don't like how she was involved. I think maybe she was mad that Mal got the opportunity.
Oh yeah, for the High Flyers.
Yeah, but she was like, "You had your chance and you blew it."
So I agree with Patty. I agree with Patty.
Like,
I agree with Patty.
Agreed.
Because you couldn't even get it together in the end. Come on.
Yeah.
Diverse blacks, no Africans. Some queers. So that was nice. Yeah, so that was great to have that. But it's like the messiness as well that comes with the queers. Yeah. Messy. Mm-hmm. Range of humanity and complexity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This I'll give it 10.
Man, yeah.
Because we saw her down bad.
Yeah.
We saw her sad.
Yeah.
We saw her angry.
We saw her taking her life back.
Yes. We saw her trying to get it together. Yes. We saw her joy.
Hyping herself up.
Yes. Even when she was doing that thing in the river, like that New Year's Day thing where you go into the ocean and
that was a wonderful shot.
Like,
that was
really
beautiful.
nice.
where she was running into the ocean and swimming.
Yes,
with her
and
hair.
just like that was really nice. So it felt like we got to see her joy.
Yes,
the range of emotions.
The range was great.
Yeah, so that was really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so like the couch potatoes we are. How would you rate it?
I'm gonna call this intersectional. I definitely am. I am.
Really?
I am. For what we're dealing with in the themes,
you're giving it fries.
I am giving it tries for that. It is intersectional. Yeah.
I think I'll give it roast potatoes.
Yeah.
I think there were things that were wonky.
Absolutely.
It's a good, bad
It is.
show.
It is. It's a good, bad show.
Yeah,
There's
and you
bad,
need good, bad shows.
There's good less than more than bad.
And I do still believe that Black people should be allowed to try things and like
absolutely.
Yeah, just kind of explore different worlds. So I'm intrigued to see what they would do in a second season. But I wouldn't say it's like excellent yet.
Yeah.
But it was like solid.
Yet.
Yeah. For me it was like solid, it was good. So I would do roast potatoes.
Yeah. And it's interesting. It would be interesting for her to go deep to get us more like and lose the frills.
Yeah.
In the
like
second
pull back
season.
Some of the frills,
pull back some of that like stuff.
Yeah. And like sometimes that can be fixed because I remember even with Girlfriends, it started with a lot of us being inside Joan's head. And then they did away with that.
I remember.
They did that for like the first season, like her weird goes whoop into him, and then they did away with that, and it was like
we don't need us.
Cool,
Straight
yeah.
away. Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Looking forward to the next one. Yeah. And I love it, man. I love that she took the story and she made her own. So, yeah. Definitely. Okay.
And that's us. Follow us at Black Sterring.
Send us an email.
Talk to us. Tell us what you want us to do next.
Yeah. Tell us what you're watching.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Signing out.
Bye.
Black Sterring.